Just picture this for a moment if you are a New York Jets fan. You're sitting inside of a parking lot. It is raining like no one's business. The cats and dogs are coming down, and you don't know what time the game is going to start. If there's going to be any delays, how this is going to impact the rest of the afternoon. And the sun comes out, you see the rainbow that glosses over the stadium, and you think it's a brand new chapter. And for a moment, it does look promising. It does look like things are going your way. Rodgers takes the field, holding the American flag. You're honoring the likes of those who lost their lives 22 years ago. And on the very first play, you see positivity. You hear the eruptious roar of fans absolutely showing you why they are some of the best people in this business. Some of the greatest some of the greatest fan bases that you will ever see. And then in 4 plays, your season's already over. The season's done. There's no other way to put it. There's no way that when you look back at last night's performance with Zach Wilson back under center for the first time since really week 5 of last year, for the first time since knowing that he has been benched for guys like Mike White, for guys such as Chris Streveler, for guys such as Joe Flacco. And then thank God you pull out this victory. And thank God you give Gang Green fans something to hope for. In the same token, you know that your year is done. There's no other way to put it. All the expectations, all the high reality, all the promise, all the potential, all those things that you were culminating through the offseason, you know that it's over. It's done. There's no other way to put it. Without Aaron Rodgers, this is still the same team that was out there last season. And this is kind of where I go back to looking at the situation that was New York Jet football. You know that this was a good team. Everybody out there can say, well, they didn't have a great quarterback situation. You're right, they didn't. But they did have a very solid wide receiver core, mostly led by Garrett Wilson. They had a top 10 defense led by Sauce Gardner, DJ Reed, Quinnen Williams, CJ Mosley, Quincy Williams. And it was evident last night. Go back and watch the game. There were so many highlight moments to where you see this team that last year made headlines, made waves, seem to be turning the corner at the right time. But you win and lose based off quarterback play. And unfortunately, Zach Wilson's not it. He's never going to be it. He's never going to transpire into something promising and full of upside. And so now, everything that you planned for this offseason, getting Aaron Rodgers, bringing over Nathaniel Hackett, getting a wide receiver like Allen Lazard, going and finding another top-tier running back alongside Breece Hall, such as Dalvin Cook, all of it thrown out the door in an instant. You don't even have time to process what's going on before the harsh reality sinks in that Rodgers, as he's getting put on the cart, your season's not only in jeopardy, it's already dead in the water. And the problem is that it only gets tougher from here. It does. It's not one of these games where you get to look back and say, well, how do we respond? No, there's no responding to this. There isn't. You face off against the Dallas Cowboys next week in Arlington. That's a loss. New England, their offense looked potent with the likes of now Bill O'Brien calling the shots. That's potentially a toss-up. You've always had struggles with New England underneath Big Game Bill. You have potentially a game going into week 4 against going to be a very upset, pissed off Kansas City Chiefs team. A Chiefs team, I might add in, lost week 1 and could lose in week 2. So they're going to maybe start off 0-2 to begin the year. That's troubling. Then you have a game against the Broncos defense, the Eagles, the Giants, the Chargers, the Raiders, the Bills, the Dolphins. All of those games, all of them are potentially toss-ups. It is not a good day if you are a New York Jets fan. It's a great win, and there were some positives to take away from last night. They have the right coach, in my opinion. Robert Saleh, in an emotional night, honoring the fallen victims of 9/11. And he's talked about it before the pregame. Absolutely being able to get his team to buy back in, stay the course, look calm, not go ahead and over panic. That's the right guy you want leading your team. So I thought that was a big win. Breece Hall looked healthy. Breece Hall being healthy is huge for this organization. Regardless if he's playing quarterback, he rushed for 127 yards. He averaged 12.7 yards per play. That's monumental for this team. And then you see what Garrett Wilson can be. Garrett Wilson is the security blanket wide receiver that any passer would love to be able to throw to on the daily. To see him make that one-handed grab where he basically blocks the ball out of the likes of the defensive back, that way he can go back in and make the one-handed snag for the easy 6. You don't get that much often. Defensively, you saw mismatch nightmares. You saw great rapport. Guys like Quincy Williams having career days. DJ Reed getting good play and good physical balance on Gabe Davis and Stephon Diggs. Those are all positives. There were a lot of positives last night for the New York Jets as an organization. And for them to be able to get the win, knowing that the life was sucked out of the stadium in an instant, is big. But you also have to look at the bigger picture here. And the bigger picture is that last season, this was mostly the same team. You lose a guy like Corey Davis and you replace him with Allen Lazard. Okay, just call that idle. You lose a backup running back and you bring in a Dalvin Cook. Call that idle. You switch out offensive coordinators, but it's still a very similar system to the quarterback and how it works. Okay, you call that idle. It's the same overall team that's returning minus the quarterback. And you don't have the quarterback anymore. He's done for the year with probably an Achilles injury. There's not a lot of hope that what you have on the roster is going to transpire into something with upside. There's not much that you have going right for you. So while you get the win, while you absolutely are able to start your season off 1-0 and prove to fans, hey, it's going to be different this year, is it? Is it actually going to be different? Because of the way that you watch this offense relegate underneath Zach Wilson on and off the field just showed me a basic glimpse of what we saw last year. It is not a positive day to be in New York. It is not a positive day to be a Jets fan. And your season came to an end last night. Hey guys, thank you so much for watching that video. Don't hit the X button yet. Make sure you hit subscribe to keep up with all of our daily content found on Just Saying It and anything else that we post on this channel. Bye.